Dog trainers and controversy. This is something, it seems to be pretty manufactured, although a lot of people think it's not. It's Christophe Clugston, the Jedi Dog Master. I'm going to launch into a little talk here about something that seems to be very popular, especially with the Facebook, social media groups, pages that people have. And more like groups nowadays, because that way they can kick people out or select them, be in an echo chamber a lot of times. But you know, the name of the game for those sorts of things is engagement, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit because a lot of people make videos that are not really educational. They're put out there as a somewhat controversial, emotional, to get people's engagement responses, because that's what seems to count, not just total education. Now, if you go to a class, an instructional class on, say, mathematics, there's not going to be a lot of engagement with that, because it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and on are all pretty much facts, and you can either just not understand the process, but you're not going to argue about the facts. It's like gravity. You could hate gravity all you want. You're postmodern. I don't know what I am. I think I'm a bush, and I identify with 35 different colors and 95 different genders. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that gravity will kill you. And if you don't want to accept it, doesn't matter to gravity. But this is the sort of thing. I put out a lot of dog videos giving hard, cold fact. A lot of people put out things with, well, you know, should do this, should it do that, ideological. I don't do anything from an ideological point of view other than I want results, result-driven. Results-driven things are what entire universities were at one point designed on, to learn a process, to learn skills. And you don't debate whether the skills work because they can be tested. And that is the thing. It's the same thing as saying, hey, I don't believe that you can run a 4-minute mile. Well, you can run a 4-minute mile. That's easily demonstratable or not demonstratable. And then what are the methods that work? And unlike people who want to work out, because this is a very good analogy to the dog world, so stick with it here, apply your brain. People who go out and just run, but they don't mark down how far they run, how fast they run, their rest periods, none of this. None of it is data driven. So you don't know what's making advances or how you can make advances. And one of the things the Eastern Bloc countries did, and why they dominated the Olympics in so many different sports, especially strength speed sports, is because they had a logical, structured, sequential, scientific method of analyzing what they were doing, changing their protocol one iota at a time, basically, and then they would see what the results were, and then they would replicate that across a lot of different people. Same thing is with dog training. People, well, I don't know this, I don't know that, and I do this. Personal anecdotal is not factual, data-driven stuff. Now, I'm not going into a whole lot of the data-driven on this part right now, but what I am going to do, because that can be done in consultations, you need to have a big foundation of a lot of things to understand that. But tactical dog training has left behind this, well, I have my ideas and I have that. No, we test which ideas work. We test which hypothesis, what you think will work, and we see which one really does. It's the same thing with running 4-minute miles. Well, I don't believe that your method of running is good. I think this method of running is better. And it doesn't matter. What is the result? And that's why I don't get a lot of engagement, because a lot of my things I do a 1/4 mile sit, stay, recall. Yeah. Now, either you want to learn that process or you want to run your mouth and try to diminish it and detract from it, which a lot of people do. Well, I'm not that. And same thing with the Jedi Dog Master Challenge. Either you can do it or you can't. And either you want to learn how to do that, or you want to run your little tired little mouths because you're incapable of it, and you want to pull everyone down to your own, as James Keating said, your own shit standards. Don't judge the world by your shit standards, is what James Keating said. You don't know who he is, look him up. And hey, I'd like to see somebody write in the comments who he is, because I doubt that any of the mills or sub-mills will even go through the effort of trying to find out who the guy was. But I put this out there because this is one of the things that I see a lot of. I see people putting out things, wow, they really did a lot with this dog, and I've already demonstrated higher level skills. Like my dog, 1 inch from a truck, holds a sit stay. As a truck goes by him, one to 2 inches away from him. Literally, I'm not talking, hyperbole. That is exactly what he did. And you can't do that, then you need to learn how. And if you don't want to learn how, then admit that you suck, that your skills aren't on par. And those people who get tired of, you're tooting your own horn. I don't give a shit. So did Ali. So did Conor McGregor. So did Sugar Ray Leonard. Anyone who has high skill and who is not recognized and held up to that skill is going to tell you about it. And that's it. Come up, challenge. I still haven't seen anybody take the Jedi Dogmaster challenge. I see people who are capable of doing little bits and pieces of it, but they can't do the whole part. Nobody else can do the whole part. Why is that? Because you don't have the type of dog training skills across a huge gamut with a whole lot of different dogs, and you don't have my 51 years of experience, and you haven't trained as many different types of dogs from the Arctic to the jungle as I have. So if that puts me higher than you, admit it. Admit it. The same thing with stop this engagement on, well, I have this feeling about protection dogs, especially in the protection dog, and I don't think they have to be working dog lines. I don't think genetics is a big deal. Yes, it is. Make a midget an NBA player. Let's see you do that. Okay? Let's see you do that.